All right, this is Double Team. This is Russell Cunningham, and I'm David Billingsley. We've got a lot of football to talk about, Russell, NCAA and NFL, but first, the CU spring game. We saw a lot of good things, especially from the quarterback position. You and I were both at the game. What were some things that you liked?
You know, I really liked Cody Hawkins. He had a great game. He actually started, which was surprising to me, but he is the natural-born leader of this team right now. Although Nick Nelson is very good as well. Both quarterbacks will do good things here. I think Nick Nelson may get the start next year, though.
Yeah, I definitely want to see what Nick Nelson does once he has, some time to look over the offense. He's going to have a summer to check everything out, get into the playbook, and really focus on what he can do next fall. The coaches are talking about that they won't decide next fall, and you can see why, because they both played so well in the spring game. And I think that, a guy like Nick Nelson, who I want to know why Oklahoma and the SEC schools wanted him so bad, because he was a highly touted junior college transfer.
I mean, in junior college, he threw for 2,500 yards and 18 touchdowns. I mean, that's huge. Not many guys get that kind of stuff coming out of junior college. That's really exciting to see, and I think he could do good things.
What I like from the spring game is the wide receivers and tight ends. It seemed like those guys are really making some big improvements. What did you think you saw from tight end and wide receiver position?
He's one of my favorite guys out there. He, number 87, he's a big physical guy. He'll go out and make catches. He made a ton of catches, leaping for this catch, and he does a great job getting catches and getting plays done.
Yeah, and another thing about Ryder is he led the team in receptions last year, so he's definitely a guy that they can use. I know the offense likes to use a lot of two tight end sets. Another guy is Dusty Sprague. He led the team in receiving in 2005. Didn't have such a good year last year, but I think he could make some big improvements. But another guy who has been playing some wide receiver, playing some running back, returning kicks, and who played quarterback last year is Bernard Jackson. What did you think from him at the spring game?
Bernard is such an amazing athlete. Coach Hawkins has said he's one of the best athletes on the team. He can do anything to help you out to get the job done. Him and the running back is absolutely beautiful because he's got the breakaway speed as well as the toughness to break through holes and also make plays. Also, Hugh Charles did pretty well, and he got the most improved player out of spring camp. What did you think about him?
Hugh Charles is definitely a quick guy. I think as far as offensive line goes, we're going to have a lot of good recruits coming in the fall. Ryan Miller is one of those guys. And if Hugh Charles gets a hole, he's going to hit it, and he's going to be gone. He's one of the fastest guys on the team. A little small, but definitely a strong guy who can hit the hole quick. So I think that a lot of times, you're going to see guys like Byron Ellis at running back and Hugh Charles at running back doing a good job for this team.
Definitely a very athletic team, a very fast team, and you can tell that's what Hawkins is getting. He's breeding his team for the type of play he wants to see. He wants fast, agile guys who are going to make plays on the outside and let the team run. Running is what they want to do. Definitely.
Now, that's the spring game. Now we need to talk some NFL with the draft coming up in just a couple weeks. The Oakland Raiders have the #1 pick, Russell. Who do you like as the #1 pick?
Well, clearly Jamarcus Russell. He's a big guy out of LSU. Strong. He's incredibly strong and fast for his position, and just a very large talent. What do you think about Brady Quinn, perhaps? He's also a candidate.
Yeah, Brady Quinn is a guy who played really well at Notre Dame, obviously, and he's a really strong guy. In the combine, he did 225 pounds on the bench press, I think 24 or 25 times in a row. That's more than a lot of linebackers can do, so he's a strong guy for sure. Calvin Johnson, also a wide receiver who might go #1 overall, depending on what the Raiders do at the quarterback position.
I mean, he ran a 4.240 in borrowed shoes at the combine. Nobody does that. That's freakish.
That is freakish. But, Russell, we got to talk about the home team if we're going to talk NFL draft. The Broncos. They need some defensive help, maybe a little offensive help. What do you think they need help at the most?
They need a defensive line player, preferably an outside rusher. If they can find one of those, that'd be great. Also, their offensive line is older, and so they need to get a new offensive line players and start to refresh that because these guys are going to be running out of talent and age pretty soon.
Yeah, the Broncos have the 21 overall pick. They need some help on O-line and D-line. But something else that I think they could need help with is wide receiver. Rod Smith isn't going to be around forever, and I think a guy like Ted Ginn Jr., who they're saying might go in the late 20s from Ohio State, he can also help out on kick returns, punt returns, just really an athletic guy that could help out the Broncos a lot.
Definitely. I mean, Ted Ginn probably would have helped a ton with Ohio State winning the championship if they had a chance. But unfortunately, he got injured in the first play of the game with a sprain by his own teammates. So we don't really know what he does in the big game. Ohio State didn't have a whole lot of hard games, but overall, he seems like a great player and could be very helpful towards the team.
Yep, and another thing we can talk about is Big 12 guys. Adrian Peterson, maybe a top 10 pick, a guy I know a lot of people really want to see do well in the NFL. So that's all the time we have on Double Team. We're going to throw it back to the ladies at the desk.